Hey, it's Derek from Ideal Body, and today we're going to talk about how to make burning fat and losing weight easy and fun. Let's get started. All right, so we're going to talk about the old way versus the new way of losing weight. And actually one of my friends, Elaine, used the new way that I'm going to share with you here in this video to lose 24 pounds in less than 3 months, along with 1.5 inches off her stomach, 3.5 inches off her waist, and 3.5 inches off of her thighs. Again, in less than 3 months, basically just using the information I'm going to share with you here in this video without doing any exercise. So it's very, very powerful, and it's very, very easy. So let's get right into it. So what I've kind of figured out over the past couple of years is there's this old way of losing weight and this new way of losing weight. So the old way of losing weight is kind of this outdated version that so many people still cling to, but it doesn't work very well, and I have no idea why people still do this anyway. So the old way of losing weight was, eat less and exercise more. You have to, burn more calories than you eat. The problem with that is if you go and do a run for an hour, or if you're on the stationary bike for an hour, if you're doing an hour-long workout, you're probably burning 600 calories, maybe 700 calories in an entire hour, and you can wipe that out with like 2 slices of pizza. So to me, the math never adds up, where if you have to burn more than you eat, then you're gonna be exercising all day long. Another aspect of the old way of losing weight was, snacking on rice cakes, carrot sticks, celery sticks, like very, very bland, boring diet foods that have no fat and really don't have anything to them whatsoever. That's kind of the old way of losing weight. I remember watching all these TV shows where people would, go to the movies and they'd, bring in their carrot sticks, their bag of celery, instead of, eating some popcorn or having a soda or something like that. So very, very low calorie, kind of depriving yourself. And the other old way of losing weight was basically just being miserable. It's like if you were on a diet or if you were trying to lose weight, you were just miserable all the time because you had to cut out your favorite foods, you had to cut way back on the calories. Again, you basically had to eat, salads and, bran cereal and rice cakes and celery sticks and carrot sticks and all these things. So that's the old way of losing weight, depriving yourself, giving up your favorite foods, exercising like crazy, eating these boring snacks and these boring meals. That's the old way to lose weight. Sure, you can do that and you might lose a couple pounds, but you'll probably drive yourself insane in the process, and it's something that you're never ever gonna stick with long term. So that's the old way. Let's talk about the new way. The new way is fun. The new way is easy. The new way is effortless once you start doing it and you start applying it to your life. And again, this is exactly what Elaine did to lose almost 25 pounds in less than 90 days and over 10 inches off of her body without barely even exercising. So the new way to lose weight is eating foods that you love, higher fat foods like butter, cheese, steak, bacon, eggs. Those foods have all been told, for years we've been told those foods raise your cholesterol, they clog your arteries, but there's no research to that. A lot of that came out from, the wheat industry, the grain industry, people that have a financial backing in certain foods and don't want you eating these other foods. It's kind of funny. You can always find out where the truth is when you find out where the money is going. So a lot of these research studies are funded by companies who have a certain agenda or a certain bias. So if you kind of just follow the path to who's funding these things, you can kind of see what the output is going to be. So eating, again, more of the high-fat foods will actually help you burn fat, get healthier, and lose weight quicker. So eating all those foods, putting salt on your foods. We've been told, again, we don't want to raise our sodium levels too high. The problem with that is most people are, when you go to the doctor, they're usually referring to sodium in like prepackaged processed food. So yeah, if you go to McDonald's and have a cheeseburger and it's full of sodium, well, the quality of food there is very, very poor. But if we're using salt, sea salt, pink Himalayan salt, I put that on my vegetables, on my steak, on my burgers, things like that every single day, and it's actually good for you. So eating more cheese, butter, steak, eggs, salt, bacon, things like that is fun, it tastes good, you're not depriving yourself, and it actually helps you burn more fat. So another aspect of the new way of losing weight is what I call eating until you're satisfied and not stuffed. So again, the old way was count calories, eat like a bird, eat celery sticks all day long. The new way is eat the foods that fill you up that I just mentioned, but then eat until you're satisfied and not overly stuffed. So eat until you're satisfied but not overly stuffed. So you can eat these foods and you'll fill yourself up. You don't have to count calories. You don't have to measure your portion sizes. You don't have to worry about calories at all, really, because if you're eating the healthy foods, that'll take care of that. But you can just eat until you're satisfied. So once you feel, okay, I've had enough, I'm full. You don't want to be overly stuffed where like on Thanksgiving, you're like unbuttoning your pants and your gut feels like it's just like plopping out. Like you don't want to get to that point, obviously, but you can fill yourself up. If you're hungry, eat. Don't skip meals. Don't, think that, I already ate a little something, I can't eat anything more because I'm trying to lose weight. Your body needs fuel. It just needs the right type of fuel. And when you use the foods that I mentioned earlier, it's getting the right type of fuel, and you'll be much more happier, and you're gonna stick with this for a longer term, a longer period of time, because you actually feel full and satisfied. You're not starving yourself and depriving yourself. And the last aspect of the new way to losing weight is only do exercise that you enjoy. Now, I always say exercise is a pretty terrible way to lose weight, because if you're just, again, trying to burn more calories than you eat, well, you can eat 600 calories in probably less than 5 minutes. So the math really is never gonna add up. And when you force yourself to do all these exercises like, cardio or weightlifting or CrossFit or whatever it is, and you're forcing yourself to do it because you think you're supposed to, you think that's the way to lose weight, you're never gonna stick with it long enough to see the results. Sure, you might be excited and you stick with it for a week or 2 weeks, but if you hate it, if you dread going to the gym and working out in front of a bunch of strangers every day, you're never gonna stick with it. So then, in my opinion, what's the point? Why even do that? Just do things that you love, because when you start eating right, when you start eating more of these healthier, high-fat foods, you can do any type of exercise that you want and still lose a lot of weight. I've heard stories from people who've lost over 100 pounds basically by walking around the block. There was this one woman who was too embarrassed to go outside because she was so overweight that she would walk circles around her dining room table. And it got to the point where she had grooves in the floor of her house because she was walking the same path around her dining room table for just, it started with like 10 minutes because she couldn't walk any farther than 10 minutes, just going around and around, just going around and around her table. And then she got up to like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, and she ended up getting a groove in the floor because she was walking this path so frequently. And she lost over 100 pounds because she started cleaning up her diet and eating these healthier, high-fat foods. So you can do anything. If you enjoy biking, walking your dog, chasing your kids around, playing basketball, playing frisbee, whatever it is, the exercise doesn't matter as long as you enjoy it and it kind of gets you on your feet, it gets you moving around a little bit. That's really all you need. So don't get sucked into, you need to do, this type of workout or this type of exercise or, high intensity or weightlifting or anything like that. All of those have their place. But just start with something that you actually enjoy and just do it whenever you want to, because again, the weight's gonna start coming off when you eat more of these higher fat foods, and then you'll be more inclined to exercise because you'll want to, because you'll have more energy. You'll have less weight on your bones, on your joints. You'll be carrying around less weight, so you'll be more inclined to start exercising. So forget about the old way. Don't worry about eating rice cakes and counting calories or depriving yourself or feeling hungry all the time, and embrace the new way of losing weight, which is eating these healthier, high fat foods. It's exercising, only doing the types of exercise that you enjoy, and actually eating actual food, filling yourself up, not depriving yourself or starving yourself, because that's a miserable way to do it and you're never gonna stick with it long term. So if you like this video, go ahead and click the like button below. Feel free to comment below with any questions or anything you want me to cover in future videos, and hit the subscribe button below because I'm cranking out new videos every single week for free to help you lose more weight and burn more fat quickly and easily. And if you want my free system on how to triple your fat burning overnight, just click the link below, enter in your best email address, and I'll send it over to you 100% free. Just my way of saying thank you for taking the time to watch this video.